Blame it all on our roots. We never wore boots, never once played in the street. We feel very bitter, get our news off of Twitter, and just can't handle defeat. You saw the surprise, the fear in our eyes when Donald became president. Scream, this can't be true. America's through. To the safe spaces we went. I've got friends in safe spaces. If you don't go with us, then you must be racist. That's our catchphrase. Where's my latte?
And we are back and we are live.
All over again. They let us do it again.
Well, I've been ignoring the calls from the FCC, so.
Is that right? How many did you get?
3 this week. So it's a down week, but with the holidays and whatnot.
Well, last week's show was kind of on the violent side. As it turned, I was a little jacked up about some of the things that have happened last week, and I mean, this week is really not going to be any better, I'm afraid.
No, that's unfortunate, but it's very true. There's been a lot of very bad things going on this week.
Before we get too deep into it, before you give everybody our information, happy Easter to everybody, or Passover, or for you,
Good Friday and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, then, for us atheists, I mean, good luck, I guess. It's where you can work with that.
You say us. Don't be
We.
including me in your we.
Well, I meant, whoever. Them guys.
Them guys.
Yeah.
Those guys over there.
Go ahead and introduce us. Where we at as far as
All right, well, this is back for yet another week of Since Trump.
12th week.
Week number 12, which is the 13th show. In hindsight, that was probably a little confusing on my end. I shouldn't have done that.
I like
but
it.
Here we are.
I like
it. Inauguration should have just been week 1. But it is what it is.
Well, it's its own thing. It really is week 12 after inauguration.
Yeah, no, it was right, but it's confusing. So you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/sincetrump. You can find us on Twitter at since Trump. At real since Trump.
Real since Trump.
Yeah, just like real Donald Trump. And
Real president.
the website is sincetrump.libsyn, libsyn.com. Email putoang@gmail.com.
I'd like to give a shout out to Chad and Mudflap. They sent you a real recording of what's really going on.
Yes.
Yes. The introduction music should actually sound like somebody who knows what they're doing.
Hey,
now.
Hey. I tried.
Well, you didn't have a good recording. I get that. I understand where you're coming from. We're having technical difficulties. Puppy power.
Because G got a new dog because he needed a third, like he needed a hole in his damn head.
Yeah, he needed his ass welded shut.
Yeah. And so now there's 3 dogs on this show, and
we're in a different spot. This is we're not in the outhouse this time. I think this is like the Love Shack, or
it'll be that tomorrow when Adrian is here recording.
Okay. The Love Shack.
Excellent. Love Shack. So we're in my better half's craft studio, if you must know.
Yeah. Well,
I've tried to man it up a little bit.
I like the I run because the number 1 rule in Zombieland is cardio.
Yeah.
I do like that. That's very good.
Yeah.
I saw that right off the bat, and that's very good.
Yeah, we've done some muddy duck dashes and those 5Ks that have a bunch of obstacles.
I
and
didn't
stuff
realize
like
that you were a runner, dude. I had no idea.
No, not a runner, as you can tell by this stunning physique. No.
Well, I'm not either, mainly because I'm flat-footed.
Yeah, no, not a runner, but
when my feet hit the earth, I mean, I'm sure they can feel it on a seismograph somewhere because I'm so flat-footed. It's a truly unfortunate situation. You ready to kick this ugly-ass week off?
I hope so. Hang on. Damn dog's tied up.
Let's start, close to our neighborhood.
Gwinnett County.
Yeah.
2 sons of bitches cops, man. What kind of bullshit was that?
What's happened? I got a live feed. I was watching it pretty much live as it was happening. We had a cop pull over a gentleman for a traffic infraction, which has yet to be determined, from what I can tell, and a tail light issue. He's in the fast lane next to the turning lane, gets dragged out of his vehicle, slammed in. Let's say it this way. The video feed that I saw live was the gentleman had already been pulled over and handcuffed. He's lying face down in the turning lane, the left-hand turning lane at Sugarloaf Parkway and Lawrenceville Swanee Road.
Right here in Gwinnett, one county away from where we record.
But the county that we spend a whole lot of our life in, a third of our job life in.
Yeah.
Probably within, just a few miles as a crow flies of where we were sitting.
Yeah, true.
And the dude, he's prone. He's face down. Officer on his back.
Well,
He's been...
Oh, you talking about the first video that came to light?
The first video, yes.
Okay, so the first video is the arresting officer, not the sergeant that comes later. That's the first video I saw.
The first video was the sergeant that came later. That's the first one posted. And the first issue that happened. This is interesting because the first recording is the gentleman is face down. He's got his head off the pavement, and a second
hot because it's 80 fucking degrees.
And it's because he's face down in the street because he's got a busted tail light. Second officer comes in from the right, runs between two cars, and kicks the gentleman in the face. Actually, it's more like a stomp.
It looked like a WWE stomp.
It was, it really did. It had a fake look to it, except for one thing. There's hot asphalt under the dude's chin.
Yeah. Oh, and you could see by his mugshot that he got fucked up.
Well, this officer was fired. It took about 24 hours for them to investigate. They put him on administrative leave to start with, and then moments later, or the next day, I should say, he was stripped of his badge, gun, and fired.
Good.
Fair enough. Good. It's fair. The next day, which would have been Thursday, a new video comes out shot from a different angle. It's actually not shot from Sugarloaf. It's shot from Lawrenceville Swanee of the same incident, but the video starts before the second cop arrives. When the first cop goes to the driver's side door of this gentleman who currently has a busted face, he lays an elbow, let's say this way, he's pinned between the roof of his car and the roof of his driver's side door and catches a flying elbow.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's got a taser or a gun, I'm not sure which, pointed at his face.
This dude took an ass whooping.
Yeah, and then the cop that originally pulled him over, he's a big boy.
This dude dropped an elbow and hit him straight across the brain with it.
Yeah,
right?
he did.
This is the video that I showed you, right?
Right.
You hadn't seen the other video yet.
I thought that was the first video.
No, that was the second video. The first video was the stomp. That happened the day before, or was released the day before, I should say. Well, I'm happy to say that both officers have been fired. They're both under criminal investigation. There are going to be charges filed with this gentleman. Matter of fact, earlier today, I was trying to watch the press conference live as it happened between the victim in this case and his attorney. Unfortunately, I was being bothered at the time, so I couldn't watch it, and I really don't know what happened, but I'm sure we're going to have to follow up on this story later. But these two guys, along with another video that came out, I'm not real sure when this happened, but it hit me right about the time that I was pissed at these two guys. This happened in California, San Bernardino, which had two incidents this week. Cell phones, guys, are saving the world. I have a feeling now that cops really, they have forgotten that they're on video. They forgot that they live their life on video. They should have them mounted to their chest or their helmet or their elbow, as it turns out. And people should see what these guys do. Because you know what I'm beginning to figure out, man? Remember the bully in school who was kind of the jackass, who was kind of the jerk off, who pushed everybody around during the time that they were growing up? But really, nobody ever really realized why they were a bully.
Yeah.
These are the guys who now carry badges.
Some of them, yeah.
I could never be a cop. Actually, my original plan was, because I actually felt like I wanted to do good in the community, I enlisted, was injured, but my plan was to go into law enforcement. Yeah. I was never a bully. Well,
not all police officers are bullies. I have lots of friends and some family that are amazing police officers.
Well, I'm sure they're out there.
But unfortunately,
my plan
we're getting
was to
the
go into
bad.
Border Patrol.
It's a honorable field.
And I agree. I mean, total chaos is not the way to go. But what I learned and what have learned is that I couldn't be the guy who was a traffic cop who could write a ticket to somebody who's poor. I couldn't do it. There's no way. If I see that you got 3 ball tires and your spare on your car, and you get pulled over for going 10 miles over the speed limit, I'm going to be in trouble all the time, because I can't take money from these folks.
Right, but it's not about, to me, it's not about money. And yes, writing tickets is revenue generation. But
yes.
If I were a cop,
collectors.
Right, if I was a cop, it wouldn't be about writing tickets to generate money. It's people need to know that what they're doing is wrong. And it's not I didn't know. Yes, you did. I'm not talking about some obscure law nobody's ever heard of. We're talking about when you're driving with your windshield shattered in. That's unsafe. When you're driving without a windshield, I've seen that shit. That's unsafe.
Of course it is. But if you're trying to make it week to week on a car that you can't depend on with a windshield, you can't. This guy can't even be guaranteed that his windshield's not going to end up in his lap.
Right.
But he's trying to make ends meet by going back and forth to work. Then I can't write this guy a ticket. I'm going to be guilty of this every time. But I'm going to have to let him go.
Well, and that's fine. That's officer's discretion.
No, I don't think it is anymore, because just like you said in one of the last couple of episodes, there is a quota. You're not writing enough tickets. You're not generating enough
you're not
income.
Arresting enough people.
There you go.
Which is bullshit. Because that costs us money.
But the police need to be policed.
I agree with that.
Fact.
I agree with that. I
mean, for too long, these guys have been allowed to push folks around, and they really have collected a whole lot of revenue. I've always wondered, when you have a drug seizure, where does the vehicle go? Where does the property go? Where does the cash go? Where do the drugs go? Where do they go?
All right, so the drugs get disposed of, which usually means burned, and the property seizures, cash is put back into the system. The cars and property are sold at auction. But that should all happen after the conviction. I have a friend who lives down in Athens who got arrested, had some marijuana on him, had a good bit of marijuana on him. Mm-hmm. When he was arrested, they seized the vehicle that he was in that wasn't even in his name. Mm-hmm. They sold that vehicle, and he's still not. They sold that vehicle like 2 months later. Mm-hmm. He still has not yet gone to trial. So he's guilty until proven innocent at this point.
The one and only time I have ever been arrested was on a I had bad neighbor syndrome is the best way I can say it.
Oh yeah, we've talked about this off air.
And I lived next to a guy who just hated my guts, and I hated him, but he had more pull than I did, because his roots are deeply seated in the county that we lived in. Well, he pulled up a false charge on me. It's the only time I've ever been locked up, ever. Right. And I'm locked up with a guy who has been caught with 8 pounds of meth or some crazy number. I mean, it was just insane. Now, I'm cool as a cucumber because I've already been told that I'm going to be released on my own recognizance. But this gentleman was freaking out, and because I was cool, he didn't, and because he was methed out, I was his mortal enemy. So we're sitting there in the holding cell, and this dude threatens me, and that's really not a place that most people want to be. Well, he He takes a swing. He takes a dive, unfortunately. And I'm released a little while later.
While he's still in the hospital.
He's got bone structure inside his mouth cavity that are not going to be able to be replaced. Not that meth leaves a lot of
Right. So he didn't have. He was Waffle House material to begin with. He didn't have many teeth.
Yeah, there you go. But the point was, I learned a lot during that one arrest, and it was that when you're in their custody, they can hold you as long as they want to, even if you're to be released on your own recognizance, because somebody in the system wants to scare you into being good.
I think it's 72 hours before they have to charge
Mine
you.
was nowhere near that.
I think they hold you for like 72 hours before they have to charge you or something like that.
Yeah, right. And mine, I was arrested and, wasn't charged.
Or arraigned, I guess is the more appropriate
Yes.
term. Not charged. Arraigned.
But anyway, things happen in jail that kind of escalate the whole situation was kind of my point. You know, you're put in certain holding cells with certain people when you've got certain people who are pulling the strings. And then with the intent of having something added to your own recognizance charge added to you so it can be held for longer. But if you're cool about it, you can move through it. What I learned is, meth is the best. And, that these people are fucking morons. But also that the guys who are in my case, I guess this is the part that I kind of forgot during the beginning, is that the individual who had the issue with me had a son-in-law that was a jailer who kind of was able to pull the strings.
Okay.
End result is I ended up with his job, or he ended up with no job, the other way.
Okay.
That we can say this. But, I mean, there's a lot of strings that be pulled even after you're taken out of the car, even if you're not beat the shit out of.
Yeah.
There's still strings that can be pulled.
Yeah. That just reminded me our friend that
By the way, I love cops. I really do. Guys, I love cops.
Back the blue.
Yeah, I do love cops. I don't have nothing against you guys. I want you to be, but damn.
Law and order exists because we allow it, right? They're in charge because we allow them to be. And I'm not saying we shouldn't. I'm not saying anything like that.
But there's a lot of bullies out there,
What
Dave.
I'm saying, and then unfortunately the bad ones get the, are making it bad for all of us, or for everyone. Our friend that had the little run-in with the Conyers police a few weeks ago.
How'd that turn out?
Still up in the
Pending,
air.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
still pending, still up in the air. The first thing he did, he went and bought a dash cam. A 360
I'm
dash
going to
cam.
do that too. I'm going to do that.
Really?
Yes, I really am. And I never really have an issue. I'm a lead foot. I'm going to be hauling ass no matter where I go. But I also have enough sense to know that hauling ass let's say my idea of hauling ass is that in a 65 mile an hour zone, I'm going to push it to 73. And I also drive a granny van, which means that nobody's going to look at me. I can rob a bank in my van, and there would be 7 different descriptions, and it's not a child abduction van, by the way. It's one of the big family wagons.
Yeah, he has one of those too, but
Yeah, that's the incognito.
Uh-huh.
Let's just move on from that, because I mean, I feel my blood pressure raising. I know the cops try. I know you guys try. God knows I know you guys try.
there are a lot. The few bad cops are giving everybody else a bad reputation.
I tend to agree, man, because what are you going to do? It's chaos if you don't have somebody out there patrolling something. But it just turns into a nightmare when you have 2 jackasses like this. Yeah. Now, we had a tragedy, a true tragedy, happen with 4 of our Marietta firemen.
Yeah, they were on vacation.
And was hit head on.
Yeah, one died and a few were in critical condition still.
Did you see the, what's the word I'm looking for here, where they transport the body from the funeral home to the burial site?
Hearse? Funeral procession?
No, the procession. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Oh, it was awesome. Dude, I was almost brought to fucking tears when I saw this.
Really?
I was like, yeah, dude, these guys are on a vacation. He's a 23-year-old fireman.
I know he was young. It's a damn shame.
Yeah, and he's doing the thing that he was probably meant to do, and is hit head on in a collision with a drunk driver.
Yeah.
You got to get these some bitches off the fucking road. I get that, right? And this dude, he's in Los Angeles. They had to fly the body back, and it's just a thing.
You know, I can tell you from personal experience of having to bury a relative a year and a half ago of transporting the body. That shit's expensive, man. I mean, that funeral and everything was like $16,000.
I'm a fan of the Kennedy assassination, or not a fan of the Kennedy, but I've investigated the Kennedy assassination. For
what's
a
up with
long
this
time.
new? I'm seeing these new this new show coming up. I assume it's on History about. There's finally some documents that are about to be declassified.
That is absolutely true. October 23rd, from what I understand.
You already file your FOIA request?
Dude, I'm
You
on
wanna
top of this. I think we kind of glazed over this whole thing a few weeks ago. The documents that are going to be released, and this group wants them released early because they want to infiltrate the group that wants to have our president currently killed, because they think that the Commission on Presidential Assassinations, they want these documents released early so that they can possibly save our current commander-in-chief.
Oh.
They want them released early. But, I mean, the Kennedy, not family tree, but the family, they want a 50-year gap between, well, actually, it's almost a 60-year, it fluctuates. But it's tied up, and I kind of expect it to be extended past October 23rd.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is exciting. This is something I'm really looking forward to, because I've spent a lot of time on this.
I know, you're very knowledgeable on the subject, which is kind of creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it either. I hate that I know this stuff.
I hate that you know this stuff, too. If it makes
Yeah.
you feel better.
You know, we got a special election coming up this coming Tuesday to replace
Tom Price.
Yes, yeah. We've got Karen Handel, who has...
What a fucking waste of skin that woman is.
Karen Handel? Really?
Yeah,
You think so?
I know. I mean, I don't know, but I know.
Well, you do realize that there's a Democratic plant who's been put into this...
Alshaw?
Yes.
Whatever his name is?
Yes, this is another one of the Nancy Pelosi
Yeah, I know.
group.
I know. Trump called me.
Did he really?
Pre-recorded messages.
Oh, did he? Really? You got one of those? I never get those. You know why I don't get those? Because I'm a puto.
No, yeah, because you are.
Yeah.
Puto Blanco.
Yeah. Blanco way.
Yeah, he, Oshoff or whatever his name is. No, I only say Karen Handel's,
She's had a lot of high-ranking positions, and she saved the taxpayers of this state a lot of
based
money.
on nothing. She is the typical...
She's not
fucking-
spending anything. She saves money by not spending it, is from what I understand.
Okay, so Trump did the same thing. No. Look, she went from Fulton... She went from, like, a Board of Education position or some shit like that to Fulton County Commissioner...
Yeah, she's climbing the ladder.
to Secretary of State,
Yes.
to all this kinds of ridiculousness.
Yes.
And to me, she doesn't have anything to back it up. Like, she did these... What are you mixing the two there?
What are
Interesting.
what are the options opposed to Karen Handel? Where are we going to go? We have the Pelosi wing,
Oh, no, I don't necessarily think...
or...
I just don't like Karen Handel. See,
Okay,
because
I'm willing to hear
I
you.
was a part of... when she ran for governor,
Yes.
and she ran... at the same time...
Governor of Georgia, by the way. Georgia, shout out!
She ran against someone that I was supporting and involved in his campaign.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So I don't have a
Is
whole-
this when you got a bad taste for Republican Party because you got to see what was behind the curtain?
That's some of it.
Oh, don't think I forgot.
That's some of it.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here.
Was she worse than the...
She just feels... She feels like a politician. She feels fake. Now, the guy I was supporting, he didn't win, but...
Well, here's what I have almost come to determine is that it really doesn't matter what your personal opinion is, because you're going to side with the party that you're going to dance with the person that brought you here.
Yeah.
you're not going to step outside the lines.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
the Gorsuch, not nomination, but confirmation, 51-48. Is that how that turned out?
That's that's what I understand it to be. And it was.
I'm sorry, 54-46. You're
No.
going to ride with the bitch that brought you to the party.
Sure. Yeah. And that's
So I don't
fine.
care what they did. Actually, I'm beginning. We may have to turn this thing around, and I would really like for this to be a national show, but as it turns out, we may have to stay local because that's really where the movement comes from. Because once you go national, you're just going to have to be. You're either going to be under Reince Priebus or you're going to be under Pelosi.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why we still need a third party system. Again,
I agree. We need a third party system. I really do.
I'm a two party system.
third-party system.
Yes, we absolutely have to. And I'm kind of leaning against the libertarians now because of the goofball they put up. I throwed my vote away for Gary Johnson because of the goofball that he is, but in a small country like Israel, you have 21 parties. Here we only have basically 2.
We have 2.
Once you get on the national level, you got to go one or the other. Your vote doesn't matter anymore, and that's nauseating to me.
Yeah. What the hell? I'm looking
In a country that has 50 states, 370 million people, and we've only got 2 choices. And, you know,
And it's
the
literally
infighting comes from locally. It doesn't. Karen Handel rose up to prominence so that she could be the 55th vote for Gorsuch. I don't get it.
But it's not just us. It's Kansas is losing theirs because they made theirs the CIA director. I think it was.
Yes.
Someplace in Kansas is losing theirs. They're having a special.
And the
election.
Republicans won that election because supposedly Trump made a bunch of electronic calls and say, you got one here.
Yeah.
Well, that election comes up on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I mean, now you're backing Trump or you're against him at this point.
Let's see. It seems...
Did you hear about the tragedy that happened at the Peachtree Plaza Hotel yesterday?
No.
5-year-old child. You know the Sundial Room, which is on the very top of
the
the
restaurant, yeah.
Peachtree Plaza?
Uh-huh.
He got wedged between a table and the unit that spins the entire top of that building.
Oh, it didn't last very long for that poor kid, did it?
No, it didn't. OSHA's investigating. The Sundial Room is probably just going to become a room that doesn't spin anymore because this kid just fucking exploded in front of a lot of people who were dining. There's nothing you can do. You can't stop a building from spinning. How the fuck you get a building to spin to start with?
It's on a turntable. It's not that big of a... That at that height, it's pretty impressive.
But it has to take, of the 78 floors that are on that building, surely the shit, it has to take about, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe floors to make a building spin?
I don't think so.
I think it does.
I don't think so.
That's an engineering marvel to make a building spin.
It's not the building. It's just the top floor.
Well, I understand that.
Building stays stationary. Making building spin would be the engineering feat.
I-85.
Hey, so I-85. Now they're saying...
They're building the shit out of that motherfucker.
Now they're saying mid-May? End of May? May 21st is the new date?
Just like we called for in the very beginning.
Just
They
like you
privatized
called
this
for.
bitch and said, hell yeah, let's privatize this and get it done.
So we had, our guest last week, and he was like, saying it was a cover-up and free the crackhead, and it was probably his cousin or some shit like that to begin with. But
Yeah, the crackheads did it.
Right,
is
right,
what
right.
I got from it. Actually, that should be the title of the show. The crackheads did it.
Crackheads did it. Blame the crackheads. If Karen Handel wins, blame the crackheads.
But
so I saw something that not a lot of people are talking about, and you probably know because you're the news junkie of all
I'm an
news
idiot.
junkies. And
the bridge at Cheshire Bridge.
no,
Oh, you didn't know that there was a second bridge burning that happened this week?
no.
Thursday, you wake up and one of the rail lines has caught on fire. Now, luckily, this one was handled before a collapse happened, but it was
The overpass at Cheshire Bridge right there? Like the last exit before you get off, before...
If you'll give me just a second, I'll tell you exactly where it was at. But yes, we had another bridge burning.
No shit.
Yes. I don't know where it's at. I don't give a fuck. For the sake of continuity, I won't even look it up. But I'm here to tell you, we had another bridge burning, and the people in the community, and it's on the north side of Atlanta, very near where the 85 overpass collapsed.
That's the exit they're forcing everybody off.
Yes. Guess what?
That's Cheshire Bridge.
Yes. Oh, there's no crackheads to blame on this one. This is an unexpected burning of a rail line. Now, they dropped the highway.
Dude. Okay, so back to the conspiracy thing, because this is important. Yeah, I know. What do you know about George Bell?
I don't know. Tell me.
The Georgia DOT supervisor that went to prison last year for taking bribes to allow the third-party companies that he worked with to store their waste under
the bridge. Oh, really? Nice job, dude. Way to go back.
Yeah.
So this is who we're going to blame for the crackhead finding the plastic and setting it on fire.
Yeah.
That's great.
Let's see. He took $15,000 in bribes over a 6-month period, but so far, or up to the point of this article, when he was sentenced, it cost the DOT over $2.5 million to move dirt and other items to its proper location. But they weren't finished at that point.
You know, the residents around the I-85 reconstruction
they're suing.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard about
because
that.
of the noise. But not only that, there's a lot of small businesses that are there at that interchange that are missing out on their income because they're routing the traffic around the entire business and residential community.
Yeah.
So people are having to go around it, coming into business and out of their homes.
Yeah.
So there's lawsuits there.
Oh, I know. One of my closest friends is a chiropractor right down on 10th Street in Midtown. I can't fucking go see him.
Cheshire Bridge and Buford Highway.
Yeah, that's right there.
Yep. Right there.
That's
right there.
the exit they were pushing everybody off. It's the one right before. It's right after Druid Hills or before Druid Hills, depending on how you look at it, which way you're coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, the construction crew on 85, they're really banging their job. They're going to fish us.
They got an open checkbook. Why the hell wouldn't you?
I just spent the last 3.5 hours. Well, let me say it this way. I spent the last 2 days coming either through or around that intersection. And even though I had to hit the brakes many times, I don't think I ever really had to come to a complete stop.
That's good.
So the Georgia DOT is probably managing this situation as best they possibly can.
Because they're getting the fuck out of the way and letting private enterprise take over.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly right. You know what? Some of the intersections that I was guided to around, the guys who were flagging and they were smiling, they were happy. They were glad to be doing their job. And it was a good thing to see with anything that has to do with construction.
Agreed.
On a DOT project. And it was very nice to see people who were like happy to be doing their job. Yes, we know we're in a shit situation, and you dealt us a shit situation, and we're going to handle it. And it was nice to see. A shout out to Georgia DOT. There's so much local. Oh, goddamn, I've got so much. Let's just tap on. I don't even know where to go from here. All right. Let's go to United Airlines. I think you and I are going to have some issues with this whole thing.
Yeah. I see this both ways. So, everybody knows
Dr. David Dow.
Dr. David Dow.
69-year-old doctor who's been convicted twice of of running a pill farm and swapping sex for services.
Like, you wouldn't do the same thing.
That depends. At 69, I seriously doubt I'll have this
59, issue. At 49.
Anyway. Whatever. He's a piece of shit.
He might be a piece of shit.
This dude instigated this from the goddamn get-go.
So what? They had no business. So here's the problem.
It's a trespassing issue to you, right?
It's not a trespassing issue.
Yes, it is. He was allowed on the plane. He bought the ticket. He paid for the seat. He's allowed to own that seat.
They accepted his ticket. Now, if they had stopped him at the gate...
This is true.
And they said, hey, we're overbooked. I'm bumping 4 people. We'll take volunteers.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'll decide.
But he has so much experience in the legal problems that he's had before that he knows that he can stir up bullshit by being dragged off a plane, having his nose broke, losing a few teeth, and getting a concussion?
I'd let him do the same thing to me.
Would you really?
Yeah.
Would you really? You wouldn't just stand up and be a man and say, "I'll take a later flight," or "I'll stay in one of your rooms paid overnight."
No.
You want to be dragged down the fucking aisle like a big, soft, goddamn, cushy marshmallow man piece of shit. So, I mean, this guy's getting a lot of sympathy. I'm not going to give him sympathy. I think he's a shitbag.
That's fine.
I think he's a troublemaker.
He doesn't need your sympathy. He's going to get millions of dollars. He's going to get millions of dollars from United. He's going to get millions of dollars from the Chicago
He's
police.
A shitbag.
He might be a shitbag.
He's a shitbag.
He was a shitbag that was doing the right thing.
No, he's not. The other 3 people who are selected in the same lottery.
There's no such thing as random.
How do you figure? Is the Georgia lottery not random?
No.
So
It's as okay. The lottery system is as random.
You're not gonna sell me on numerology, dude.
I know.
It's
I'm not selling you. No. I'm
Good.
not trying to. The lottery is as random and as controlled as random can be. But there is no such thing as random. The algorithms that create that.
There are no algorithms with tennis balls flying around in the bubble, dude.
Right. So what they do to prevent anything from confusion in a literal lottery system like the Georgia lottery or
Right.
Pennsylvania lottery or the New Jersey lottery, whatever, is they replace the balls every time. The blowers are checked to make sure there's no blockage. They make it as strict and as to these guidelines as possible. So there's brand new balls every time, because you could argue that the oil that transfers, or you could dent one and it would pop up differently and stuff like that. Like versus lottery and bingo have a lot of things going similar, right?
Okay.
So what you're talking about, though, is a lottery in the sense of the system randomly generates.
Which system is what I really don't understand. You know what? Let me back up, because I'm kind of siding with you now, because I really don't know how their lottery system works. If you've got 67 seats on a plane and you've got 71 passengers, and the 4 passengers are locked in simply because they're United employees who are going to fly on this free whatever, and then United fucks up and overbooks the flight. So what you're saying is the lottery means that the 4 people who are booked on the flight because they're employees, they're going to be the numbers 1 through 4. Anybody else on the plane is open game.
They're not on there. They're taking the existing seats. Those 4 people that need to get on the plane.
That's not the way I take it.
I
take it as they're going to fly and 4 other people are going to be booted. Now, the group that's left, of the 67, 4 are going to go.
Right.
3 of those individuals left and took the package that was offered to them, and 1 turned into the biggest pussy in the face of the fucking planet.
Right.
If I looked like him and I had the record that he did, I'm the last motherfucker who's going to be on the plane dragged off. I want my shit as low profile as possible. I will walk off there gladly. I don't know how they do this, but if I'm on the plane and my number gets picked and I have 3 family members who are on that same flight, I don't give a shit if I'm on the plane or not. I'm going to take my need to know basis ass and my 3 family members, and we're going to leave quietly. Not this son of a bitch. There's a lot more to that video.
I know,
than just what you saw.
No, there's
him
a
being dragged.
video. I understand that.
I'd have bounced his fucking ass off of the seat post a time or two myself.
That's fine. United policy says the priority of all other confirmed passengers may be determined based on passengers' fare, class, itinerary, status of frequent flyer program membership, and the time in which the passenger presents him or herself for check-in without an advanced seat assignment.
With that being said, fuck him. He need to get off the goddamn plane and not be bounced off the damn floor of a jet. Now, here's the damn thing. He gets off the plane. He's dragged off the plane. And then there's reports that say that he gets back on the plane later. Well, those are false reports, because, yes, he does get on the plane later. He wiggles away from the security detail at O'Hare in Chicago runs away from them, screaming like a bitch, gets back on the plane, stands in the tail, and dares to be dragged off again. This is when the injuries occurred. It's not while he's being dragged. It's when he runs back on and they're trying to bust him in the mouth and knock him in the fucking head so they can... He's still a piece of shit. No matter how you look at it. The dude's a piece of shit.
He might be a piece of shit.
He is a piece of shit. He's got patients that are waiting on him 2 days. 2 days. According to his itinerary, he's got people who are waiting 2 days for their pill fix that he's already sorted out for them. And he needs to collect that cash or that random piece of ass trade-off that he's a piece of shit. Fuck him. Moving on. Fuck him. He's not random.
Exactly. Nothing is random.
No.
When it comes to a computer system,
I can't believe that they picked the worst piece of shit in the fucking plane to try to bounce off.
That's Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong.
Good. And they found this piece of fucking shit and wanted to bounce him.
It's just like when a natural disaster or something happens and they pick the most illiterate, moronic looking sumbitch to interview on television. Chest deep in flood water, holding an umbrella over his head.
Have you heard some of the jokes and the shit, the memes that have come off of this? Goddamn, they're funny.
Holy hell, they're funny.
United has opened a nosebleed section.
There's a Fight Club section.
I love it.
United's now offering a red eye.
Board
and
as a doctor,
eye.
leave as a patient.
Yeah.
You can run, but you can't fly.
Yeah. Look, I'm just going to say one last thing on this.
Yeah.
The police had no business dragging him off the plane. He had no business resisting.
You do realize that there was a 47-minute conversation that happened before the police arrived
Wasn't
on
their
the scene.
place.
The airport is the last place in this country that you have any rights, dude. They can frisk you, they can molest you, they can take your retarded child and they can molest him
with
they can't. Front and back of hand. When you sign up and you pay for your ticket, by God, they can treat you how they want to.
You can say no and not fly.
You can say no and end up on a video, too.
He got to that point. He had passed all of those things.
Fuck him. It doesn't matter. If you comply, first of all, if you comply with the officer in charge. Now, we don't know what happened in Gwinnett County that led up to him taking that elbow in the face from the first officer.
So the sergeant, I read the article, the sergeant, the one that was fired.
When you don't comply.
The sergeant was fired first, was it? The second guy, the guy that stomped him on the face.
That's a second offense, yes.
Okay, that was the guy that was fired second or first?
He was fired first.
Okay. He denied, he lied and wrote in his report that things happened differently. And then when confronted with the video, he lied all up until the video was shown to him. And then when the video was shown, he was
United Airlines lied.
He was like,
the whole time.
You don't understand what it's like out on the streets.
Right. Then get off the fucking streets, dude. Find another job.
This was the same sergeant that almost lost his stripes a couple years ago for assaulting someone.
United Airlines is now serving punch.
Oh shit!
We have a red eye and a black eye flight. You know, this is crazy. But they try to negotiate with this guy. And he refused, and he refused, and he incited the beating that he got. I don't know if this guy in Gwinnett County incited that or not, but he took a beating
hands
anyway.
Up, don't shoot, huh?
I'm not real sure where we're at here on this. But you know what? There was a lot of folks who got their ass whooped. Do you know that we dropped a heavy bomb somewhere in Afghanistan? It's
the Moab, the mother of all bombs.
Yeah, did those guys ask for the ass whooping they got?
It was an ISIS target. 36 ISIS members confirmed.
So
kills.
You think that they asked for the ass whooping they got?
ISIS. Did you not hear me?
Yeah.
ISIS.
Oh, I get that. I'm just asking you a question. If the guy who got on the goddamn plane is innocent because he paid for the ticket and he got his ass whooped, what makes these guys that are in these caves think that they should have rights too.
Trump is doing
We dropped a lot of hot shit. Gina, we dropped a lot of hot shit.
Trump is doing two things that he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
He was going to run
Beat their goddamn ass.
said he was going to run things like a business.
Yep.
And he said, when asked how he would approach ISIS, he said, I would bomb the shit out of them.
Well, he just said he would defeat them.
No,
He didn't.
I
he
remember.
didn't,
We're
no.
talking. We're talking
Oh.
before.
You know what? You're right.
way,
You're right. You're right.
Like,
You're right.
Like
You're
when he
right. You're
announced
right.
his campaign kind of stuff.
Oh,
like before that, when there was still a field of 17.
I'm going to tap back on this
Jesus.
United thing for one thing. The video that shows the victimization of this useless fuck. The woman who's standing there recording and going, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!" Honey, you're just record. Your "oh my god" is not helping the situation, and it's annoying and it's overdone. Just record. Record the facts, and then when it's posted or it's show the whole thing. Don't show your "oh my god." You're not going to be famous,
Yeah, they're counting on it.
right?
So
Just because you're holding the camera, it doesn't make "oh my god." You're not going to get paid.
well, she's obviously a dumb bitch.
Oh my god!
So-
That's the knee jerk reaction. Oh my god!
So as I'm trying to tell you,
Sick of these people.
he did two things. He said he's going to do: run it like a business,
And
and to bomb the shit out of them. He's bombed the shit out of them, and he's running it like a business.
well, he
he's
said he would eliminate them.
he said he would bomb the shit out of them.
Well, he did.
And he's running it like a business in the sense of he's letting the commanders on the ground in that theater make the decisions.
Yeah.
Not all this 17 hours of back and forth, call me, call Mattis, call this, call that.
Please
Fuck
don't
that.
call Congress.
No.
They can't find their ass with both hands.
Their ass don't even know they have hands.
God damn. I'm so sick of Congress.
Oh, me too. But, you know,
Their approval rating is way above what it should be.
term
It was
limits.
kind
Make
of
that
like
real simple.
12%.
Term fucking limits.
Yeah.
So we had a little show of force for your buddy Mr. Flathead Kim Jong Un. You know, it's Founders Day celebration.
Yeah, wasn't that convenient?
Yeah, well, they like to fire shit off during Founders Day.
It's just a big firework.
So our Air Force flying out of Japan took their whole 18th wing, their whole 18th
That
whatever
was a pretty shot.
and
I must say, I was scared. I wouldn't want to be Kim Jong-il when I saw this picture.
F-15 Eagles, HH-60 Pavehawks, E-3 Sentries, and even the tankers, even the refueling tankers, they put them all up in the air, fully fucking loaded.
If I was as big an asshole as he is...
Are we talking about Kim Jong-un?
Yes,
Okay.
Kim Jong-un. If I was as big an asshole as he is, sitting here in the love shack, as we are, I wouldn't expect to walk away,
No.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows where everybody's at. And you know, cutting off your people to the internet or anything that has to do with anything global. Do you know that we are still in an active war with Korea? It has never been declared one way or the other since 1951.
That sounds about right. This would have been the 105th birthday of
The grandfather.
of the grandfather,
Yes.
Kim Il Sung.
Yes.
And then there was Kim Jong Il, which
Yes,
was
the
his
father.
son. And then
this is the third generation
of
of
shitbags.
inbreed. Yes,
And-
selective pussy is
Right.
what I call it.
And so, Trump even said, China.
Fuck him.
Well, no, they said China.
You know, after
You
we
should do
dropped that
this.
shit in Afghanistan, he didn't want to. He didn't want to do that test launch today while he had his military, his grandeur.
Yeah.
He wanted to show the parade, but he didn't want to show fire in the sky because, goddamn, they saw fire in the sky in Afghanistan, and these guys were liquefied. We're going to be finding bodies in them caves for fucking months. The first number was the Moab took out 23. Then it went to 34. Now today it's 96. I mean, we don't know how many of them were stacked on top of each other in a grudge fuck in these caverns for years or ever. I'm
Right.
thinking the number is going to continue to climb.
Well, and one of the sites that they do their tests at is an underground site. Why are they poisoning? Why are they testing nuclear underground?
Well, see what happens when you drop a big bomb is it sucks all the oxygen out of the little tunnels that they run in. It's kind of like when you destroy an anthill.
Right, but their biggest exports are their minerals. So their biggest exports are coal and things like that.
Sure. Well,
so why would they
well,
contaminate?
It's not coal. It's oh god damn
Coal
it.
is one of them. They turned around a ship
Yes,
to China.
I know, but it's not organized like we do in West Virginia. There's minerals, but you know what, man? It doesn't really matter once you close off the openings and there's no oxygen to the center. The ants buried beneath the hive, they're going to suffocate. We're never going to know the number of people who suffocated below ground. Never.
No.
The official number is 94. We don't know how many goddamn slaves are underground. It's going to be astronomical.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And when you look at that thermal imaging radar when that bomb dropped in that little cavern, dude, we're talking about a 1.5 mile circumference vacuum of oxygen. And we're welding the seams shut. Everything that was below that is gone.
Really?
You're not going to dig those folks out. We don't know how many slaves, men, women, children, goats, goddamn. We will never know because we set them on fire. We dropped hot shit on bad people, baby.
Yeah,
That's what we did.
That's what they needed.
That's the bumper sticker that we kind of need to.
Dropping hot shit on bad people.
Yeah.
See, I'm working on some merchandise, and I've mentioned that
We
before.
dropped hot shit on bad people.
Yeah, you've seen the T-shirts and stuff like that I've done with
Yeah,
other things.
I was wearing one up until
Yeah.
I pulled it in the driveway. Come to think of it. Yes, the double tap. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pop, pop. Yeah.
So maybe that's something. Maybe
Dropping
that's
hot shit on bad people.
Maybe
I mean,
that's
it
something we can
really
add
should
to.
be something. When you're a young child and you see the things that are happening in the world and you live with somebody who is like me,
right.
you say things that really need to be on a T-shirt or a billboard
Yeah,
or a bumper sticker.
You've told me some of the things your daughters have said.
They're, well...
No, I mean like back when like 9/11 happened and things like that.
Yes. Oh, I tend to agree. There's things that I hid so that we can make T-shirts and bumper stickers.
You're gonna make Gina famous.
There you go. This is my point.
My biggest
Once me and G are executed using Black Hawk helicopters, hon, you need to carry on. This is your job now.
So you're the backup, Gina. I'll will the stuff to you if we die together.
Oh, there's hot shit gonna be dropped on a whole lot of folks. As a matter of fact, this same son of a bitch that we're talking about. Let's dive into celebrity.
Charlie Murphy died this week.
Wasn't that for? And
57 years old of leukemia. That's a shitty way to die. Painful and slow and...
is that? It really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't sickle cell.
No, it was leukemia. He's such a bastard.
Don Rickles.
Yeah.
This was a comedian I could really respect because he really didn't pick no favorites. I don't give a fuck if you're whatever.
He was quite the roaster back in the day, too.
Not a roast. He didn't give a fuck, dude. There's video of him. In this day and time, Don Rickles would be executed on a stake for some of the things he did. He roasted Mr. T. This was the funniest thing I ever said. Mr. T is a big badass. I respect the guy. I love the guy. And he just said, hey, I'm roasting a black guy on stage, and I think we used to own them. And he was so cool about it. He could do this.
Wow.
He was the insult comic.
Yeah.
One
of my favorite insult comics doesn't do it anymore. She does like a one-woman show or some ridiculous shit like that.
You must be
Lisa Lampanelli.
Lampanelli. Well, she's self-deprecating. much like I am. I don't mind people making fun. I love Lisa Lampanelli.
Oh yeah, no, me too. I just wish she did more of the.
Do you know that Ben Affleck and Jennifer
Garner
Garner are now, they filed
divorce?
that is
That's a shame. I'm a huge Ben Affleck
it's
fan.
really not. Are you a Ben Affleck fan?
Oh yeah.
You know he's a Matt Damon buddy,
Well, yeah, him
and
and
he's a
Good Will
piece of
Hunting.
shit. Yeah,
they wrote Good
they
Will
make good
Hunting.
movies.
They do. We're not buddies. He doesn't hang out.
Really? Y'all have the same haircut. But I mean, maybe it gives you another shot at her. I'm not real sure why you would be a fan of him, because this is the most. He has said shit that I don't even write down because it's so crazy that it doesn't even make sense to me. It's like Whoopi go, Whoopi, why are you still here?
I'm a fan
Whoopi is still in this country.
I know. I offered to help her move.
I think they're all still here.
They are. Because
nobody has moved.
Because the places they threaten to go to have actual immigration laws they enforce.
Well, not only that, but they
Fucking
can't make the
bastards.
same money that they could here. If you turn your dollars into dineros, you're not going to live in the same castle that you currently own. That's why are we here?
I don't.
Celebrities. We should move Hollywood, say, to Austin, Texas.
Should. You know what? Hollywood would exist just fine out there on Catalina Island. 26 miles out in the ocean away from everybody else.
Where there is no sex, male or female, because everybody fucks each other
Yeah,
equally.
something like that. Oh, and these fucking bitches are all up, and I mean, by bitches, I mean liberals and snowflakes. These fucking bitches are all up in arms because we called the Moab the mother of all bombs.
Ain't that some shit?
Did we just assume it's gender? No, it's gender neutral. It kills every fucking body.
Man, woman, child,
dumb
you
whores.
liquefied motherfucker, please feel free to leave our planet.
I wish you'd fucking start.
Barbara Streisand weighed in on Sean Spicer's comments about the Jew never used chemical weapons.
Oh, yeah, well.
You know, and you're still here, bitch, and you're still in a high-rise hotel, and you own a mall that you can personally shop in the basement of your own building. And you and James Bronin, what's his fucking name? Who's this insignificant motherfucker? Who's the guy she's married to?
Who?
Barbara Streisand.
I don't know what his name is.
James.
Josh Brolin?
Hold on. Yeah, Josh. What's his last name?
I don't know. I'm looking it up.
Josh. You said it.
Brolin?
Well, because she's a Jew, she owns her own high-rise, and she lives in a penthouse, and she has her own shopping mall in the basement of this penthouse. Brolin. Yes, Brolin. James Brolin.
James Brolin, yeah.
Yes. From Marcus Welby, MD. Motherfucker, you ain't been shit since Marcus Welby. He's been dead 30 years, and you've been riding his coattails. God, you make me nauseous.
Well, it's his third marriage. Her second.
And it's still Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
She ain't done shit since when?
She's got a pretty beautiful voice, but that's about
Really?
it.
So does Celine Dion.
Yeah, no, she
And
sounds funny. Fucking Canadian.
Well, I mean, it's good enough for Las Vegas.
That
I mean,
absolutely
unfortunately, her husband, manager,
is. Barbara Joan. Bob.
yeah, Barbara, Babs, honey, you've got to leave the planet at some point. You're not going to outlive all of us. Why don't you go back to Israel? You could do a lot of things if you're that pro-Israel, hun. You and James Brolin, take your husband with you when you go, and let's see how you turn out.
She was born in Williamsburg, New York. She's not.
I think she owns Williamsburg now.
Possible. She's
I
probably
mean,
worth hundreds.
her
of
bunker
millions.
is a mall that's buried underground so that she can get the latest fashions and take them up the elevator to her penthouse where she can't wear them for anybody because she don't do any shit anymore. Why are you still here? Go fuck yourself. Let's do it that way.
That's good.
You know that our border agent that was murdered.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, from the Fast and Furious. Where did they get that name from? Something that was popular. They couldn't come up with nothing else other than something that had to do with cars and fast shit. They drop Fast and Furious weapons and murder our own border agents with these weapons. That guy got caught in Mexico City, and he's gonna. Yeah, this is sweet. We feed them the weapons and then wonder when the fuck we're gonna pick up our own bodies with them. Good luck to you. You know, Obama, you and Hillary and that goddamn Holden. And Rice. You're never going to serve the time that you deserve. You know she's worth $500 million on $154,000 a year salary.
Who?
Miss Rice.
Condoleezza Rice?
No, the damn idiot that come up there with the video that said that we blame the Benghazi. What's her name? It's not Condoleezza Rice. It's God damn it. Please don't stop me on her fucking first name. The Obama Rice bitch. It's not Condoleezza. Condoleezza has melted off into obscurity. I'm thinking Sharon.
Susan Rice.
Susan. I said Sharon. Goddamn. You're worth $500 million now on $154,000 a year salary.
That sounds like
she lied to the world. She got away with it, just like Obama, just like Eric Holder. Please, Black Hawk helicopters, come see me. I kind of doubt Trump's going to send them after me because he knows I'm telling it right. You dropped off weapons in Mexico on the border with filed down serial numbers, killed our own people with these weapons, and then blame it on what? What did you blame it on? You blamed it on Mexicans? What did you blame? You sons of bitches have never proved nothing. You deserve to go away. You never will. I understand this. I'll be in prison long before you will.
Probably.
But you're goddamn... we'll all see each other at some point in the afterlife. Fuck you.
Looking forward to that, are you?
Yeah. Oh, God. Yes. I've been training to punch you bitch in the face. Fuck you. Susan Rice, you're a lying bitch. You're still a lying bitch. You've been a lying bitch. Eric Holder, I don't know where you're at now, but you dropped off the planet after this incident happened, didn't you? We'll find you in hell, maybe, but it's going to happen. Dude, it's all over. Your movements, you're an idiot. Obama, I don't even know what to say about you, dude. Careful. You must really be upset about Trump dropping hot shit on your relatives. I hope you get what's coming to you. Oh. It may not be in this life. It may not be in Allah's life. But, dude, it's coming.
Pineapple up the ass.
Where we? Yes, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, you said it. He said it. It's over. It's over. We've run our course this week, folks.
Fuck you all.
We've run our course this week.
Take me away.
Oh, please. Wait till he leaves here.
My record is cleaner than all of you. If
we're gonna run him for county commissioner.
If the first, yes, we are. We damn sure are. I'm running for something. It's happening.
The border. Let's talk about straight.
Let's just say this. Let's start at the county and see if I can climb this same goddamn ladder.
Carrying handle ladder.
You know what? It's a good blueprint.
It's not. No, you're right. You're right.
It's a good blueprint.
She's just a piece of shit.
Okay.
But there's plenty of pieces of shit in politics.
I don't even really mind if this other guy, the Pelosi guy, ends up there. I would like to follow his path because I'd like to.
This has been a Republican-held seat since like 1979.
Yeah, then it's time to change.
Is it?
Well, maybe
Newt
because
Newt Gingrich, Johnny Isakson.
It may be the perfect example of what term limits means.
No. Term limits.
I understand that the bodies have changed, but the signal stays the same.
Yeah, well,
Come get me. Please, God, come get me. Come get me.
All right, folks. Before the Blackhawks do ascend on my house of all places, they can blow his little meth shack off the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Before they ascend on my house,
It ain't gonna take but a less than a half a hand grenade, and I'm gone.
they could drop a bottle cap out and it would
Yeah.
destroy the fucking-
Yeah, I could be taken away for littering or loitering or maybe
Prowling. You were prowling.
We're going down that path
No, we're
too.
not. We're
Yes,
done.
Oh, we are
We're
today.
We are today.
but we're not done with that prowling thing.
No, we're not. Prowling is an adjective.
Yes.
For those in the police
Fuck
to look it
you.
up. If someone is sedentary or sitting, for you guys that don't
prowling.
have your
Yeah,
fucking
we're going.
thesaurus out.
I'm ready
Then-
to go, dude. I'm ready to roll. If I've got folks like you and some of these listeners out here who are willing to back me up, by God, I'm ready. I'll take the hit. I'll take it tonight.
I know people from working with that other campaign who have been kingmakers before. This person fucked himself up. Like, this wasn't the people
I
around
won't do
him.
that.
This guy fucked himself up.
Let's announce my candidacy now. I'm running for fucking something.
So we're gonna start with county commissioner in Habersham.
I kind of think that's the way I need to go, honestly, because let's start with an obscure place that has nothing to do with the city of Atlanta, the state of Georgia. When I drive through a neighborhood with my tag and it says Habersham County on my tag, people are like, "What the fuck is a Habersham County?" Let's just start there. Let's do that. Let's create some semblance of garbage. Right? Come get it. What are you going to do to me? You've already stripped me of every fucking dignity I had. But I still got the First Amendment. I still got the Second Amendment.
For the moment.
So let's do this.
Well, it looks like you'll be paid better than for the job you're doing now, based on what I'm saying. We need to see if Habersham is a 2-year, 4-year, or 6-year.
Let's just do this. Let's do it.
Well,
Because up to this point, let's just build something out of nothing. Because I'll stick it out there. I don't mind. If you want to chop it off, by God, let's go. What am I going to do? What's the worst you're going to do to me? You can't charge me with crime. I haven't done any fucking thing. CNN has an opinion that says that Trump is... I saw this. Trump is causing World War III. Really?
Yeah, sure.
You're going to charge the president with instigating World War III. You're not going to surround it with none of the goddamn bullshit that happened leading up to January 20th of 2017. You're just going to say, well, picking up from here, he's causing the world's destruction. Michael Moore, dude, I'm coming after you. I really don't appreciate you. You and your... He's going to cause the extinction of humanity. Let's see. We'll start it in Habersham goddamn County. There's one thing about the JFK movie, or the JFK assassination. Once the current government doesn't work, the American people have the right to move the fucking government out west somewhere. Pick a spot where it's not at now. Let's take MS-13. MS-13 kind of runs the neighborhood around the power buildings. You won't let MS-13 into your little inner circle there, the Capitol Hill or Jefferson Memorial. But look around the outsides. You don't have enough law enforcement to stop them. Maryland, Delaware, let's just start it over. And if it costs me everything, it really doesn't matter. What are you going to take? What are you going to do to me?
Blood from a stone.
Right. What are you going to do? What's the worst you can do? Silence me. Right?
Just not here. Not in this house.
Yeah. Let's do that.
All right, folks. Well, this has been another episode of Since Trump. I'm not sure if we touched on everything we were planning on. But
We wasn't even close.
Yeah, I
dude.
didn't think so. But we ran out of time. We're already an hour and almost 10 minutes into this. So
It was a good show.
It was a good show. We want to thank you, our tens and tens of listeners. We appreciate it. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, you can find us on sincetrump.libsyn.com. Find us on Facebook, facebook.com/sincetrump. You can tweet us at Real Since Trump and email, which please somebody send fucking Puto an email. PutoNG@gmail.com.
Yeah, dude, entertain me some.
We are everywhere to serve you.
You know what?
What's up,
We started to have some good stories of the week. I've got two. That goddamn giraffe finally had that fucking baby today. I
Thank
watched
God.
it live.
Oh, that was disgusting, I'm sure. I know, miracle of life,
Well,
right? Whatever.
It was pretty cool. I mean, once it shit out that placenta, it was pretty nauseating because
I'm fucking nauseated for you.
all right. Well, anyway, April, the giraffe, you finally had your baby. Good for you. You've got more rights than I do as an
Make
American
sure you get that-
goddamn citizen.
Make sure you get that child support going.
Yeah. And the other thing is, did you hear about the 8-year-old who learned how to drive?
From watching YouTube videos.
Yes.
I'm so proud of him.
That's a real man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I want him on.
I learned how to drive on video games.
Really?
I learned how to drive stick on a video game.
Okay, good.
There was one of those.
Eventually it happened, though, right? You didn't have to tear up a transmission or a dashboard or bend a steering wheel to do it.
No. There was a video game, obviously back when I was early teens, that you sat in. It had it had an automatic mode and it had a manual, and it had a real
Good for
clutch,
you.
and it would stall if you didn't do it right.
Right. Good for you.
And it would
Real men drive stick shift.
I miss having a sports car for that very reason.
Right. You know what, dude? I'm shout out to you, and that little 8-year-old dude. In case y'all don't know what happened, he's hungry. His brother's hungry. They stole their parents' car, and the 8-year-old kind of looked on YouTube and said, "We're going to learn how to drive here on YouTube." And they went to McDonald's. The only bitch in their plan was they didn't have the money when they got to the goddamn drive-through. They're hungry. What do you want to hear?
That's hilarious.
That's a good story. That's one to leave out.
I'm not even
You
gonna
know,
shit on your story, fucking asshole.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Drive, bitches, drive. And if you can't drive, get out of the fucking fast lane.
Yeah, don't get him started again. All right, folks, that's it. I say we are done, and we are not done, but we're done this time.
I appreciate it, man. And I appreciate everybody listening, guys.
Nothing's
I
permanent
really
except for
do.
permanent. There's nothing permanent here. All right,
Thanks,
all right, guys.
man.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you, man.